Hi, Jerry Mona with Boater Input. Today I'm going to show you how to change the gear lube on your outboard motor, which is something that you should minimally do at the end of each year. This is not only because the gear lube can get worn and it fills with contaminants, which could lead to excessive gear wear, but it could also be a situation where if you have any water collecting in your gear case, it could freeze over the winter months, pop your gear case, which could lead to a very expensive repair. So replacing your gear lube before your boat is put away is really a good idea. Now today I'll be using my Mercury 150 horsepower 4-stroke as an example, but the process is very similar for other brands and engine sizes. The good news is that it's quick, inexpensive, and something that most anyone can do themselves. Now before we get started, I just want to show you the items that you will need to change your gear lube. First, you'll need a gear lube pump, which is this device down here. Some gear lube, of course. Some from prop grease, prop shaft grease, which you'll see right down there. Prop wrench of some sort, or a large wrench, a flat screwdriver for a Mercury. Now, some other engines may take a socket or a wrench, oil drip pan, and a block of wood to help you remove the prop. Now, it's also handy to have a pair of rubber gloves too, because this process can get a little bit messy. Okay, so the first step is to drain your old gear lube. And in order to do that, you need to find two things first. You need to find your drain vent plug, which is this right up here underneath the cavitation plate on my Mercury. And then you need to find the drain plug for your particular engine, which is the place where you will actually insert your new gear lube. Now, on the Mercury itself, the place where you fill the gear lube is you'll have to take the prop off first, and then you'll be able to access it from in there, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Some other engines, you may have to take a screw off down low in your gear case, and that may be where you fill in your gear case. But for this engine, again, it's behind the prop. They do that because they want you to inspect your seals, make sure everything looks right when you're doing your gear lube change. Now, to take your prop off is pretty simple if you've never done it beforehand, but that's where a block of wood comes in handy. Now, I've already loosened up the nut just for the sake of time, but you just kind of wedge that in there, and then you take your wrench or a prop wrench, put it on your nut, and turn, of course. And yeah, I've got it pretty loose here, and then pop it off. Now, just keep track of the order in which these parts go. Okay, so you've got your prop nut. Then after that, you have what's called a retainer, prop nut retainer. It's got these little tabs on it, which hopefully you can see it here. Okay, and so that's the next piece, and the tabs face out. Then after that, you've got the prop itself, and then you have a thrust washer, which in this case, it's a little bit stuck on, so I'm going to need to pry that off. Okay, so I just popped the thrust washer off, and pay attention to how that goes back on. You can see it's wider on one end. The wider end is the part that goes on first, so just remember that when you go to replace it. At this point, what you want to do is, I'll show you right for the Mercury anyway, the Mercury 150, you have the screw right here, and this is what we're going to loosen up, and that's how we're going to drain out our gear lube and actually refill it. But you also have a little a seal around here, so you want to inspect that. You want to inspect your prop shaft, make sure there's no fishing line, because if that seal is broken, or if you've got any fishing line there, that can break a seal, which could cause water intrusion and destroy your gear case. So that's why they want you to go to the trouble of taking that off, taking a look at that every time you change your gear lube. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower the engine down, put my drip pan underneath, and then pull out that screw and let the gear lube drain out. Okay, so at this point in time, I got my engine down. Let me adjust the angle here a little bit better, so you can see. There we go. And right there, I'll make it a little bit better. And then all I'm going to do is, again, there's a screw down here at the bottom. I'm going to loosen that up. And there should be some kind of a washer with it. So make sure you don't lose that. You'll need that when you go to put it back on. Ideally, if you have a spare, a new one, you put a new washer on. So that is what the screw, or actually bolt, is there. Hard to see, but there's actually a thin little washer on there as well. Now, you can see it's not exactly gushing out here, and that's by design. At this point in time, what you want to do, again, I'm going to move the camera. This is where you want to pop off your vent screw here to allow it to seep out. So now you just remove this. And again, this has got a little seal or washer with it as well, so make sure you keep that. And now the engine gear case is able to drain out a little bit more quickly. So we'll just let this drain for a little while. I'm going to tilt my engine down even further just to help it drain. And there she goes. Okay, so at this point in time, my gear case is almost finished draining, and so this is a good time to inspect what's coming out in terms of your old gear lube. So if it's dark and dirty, that's normal. But if it's milky, that means water has gotten inside and you may have a bad seal. If it has metal shavings or a burnt smell, then that may mean that you have some problem with your gear case, and you're getting some extra gear wear, and so you'll probably want to take it to a dealer or mechanic to have them check it out. So in my particular case, you know, the gear lube looks fine. It's a little bit dark like you'd expect. Not too bad actually, and I don't see any signs of metal shavings, and it's certainly not milky or anything like that. So no problem with the gear case there. And so once it's finished draining, we'll be good just to add new gear lube and we'll be finished. So the next step is to add the new gear lube. And for this, you can, if you have a Mercury, you can either use Quicksilver or Mercury. They're both the same. However, one thing I will point out, and this is kind of confusing, Mercury has what they call premium gear lube, and they have high performance gear lube. And it may not be obvious which is which, but what that means is the high performance is for engines 75 horsepower and above, and premium is fine for engines smaller than that. So you'll want, from my case, since I have a Mercury 150, you'll need the high performance gear lube. Attach your gear pump to the top like this, and then you're going to insert the little screw tip into that drain port that we just drained out of. So that's what we'll do next. Now this holds, I think it's 28 ounces of gear lube, so this quart bottle will be a little bit more than enough. So that's a good thing. And what you want to do, insert that in there, pump it up until you see oil come out of that drain vent. That's when you know you have enough. And the reason why you fill it from the bottom is so you don't have air bubbles in the process, versus if you were filling it from the top, you would have air bubbles in there, so you fill it from the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It can be a little tricky to attach this thing. Okay, so successfully screwed in the end of the pump into the drain / fill slot. And so all we need to do now is pump it up with some gear lube. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And as I mentioned, we're going to want to do that until we see some come out from the top. Okay, so as you can see here, it's now coming out the drain hole, so we know that we've got it all full. So what you want to do, this is very important, is you want to take your drain plug that looks like this, small little small little thing. And then I took a fresh seal. So rather than using the old one, I just put a fresh seal on there that I got with the oil change kit. Put that on there. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach that first. So I'm going to give an extra pump here. Okay, that's good. Going to add this in here. Use your flathead screwdriver and replace the drain vent. And the reason why you want to do this first is because with this in place, when I attempt to remove the bottom drain where I filled, it will be less likely to spill out with this in place. Okay. Now the next step is the trickiest part of this whole operation, is I'm going to replace that bottom drain plug. And again, it looks like the bolt, it looks like this. I'm going to again make sure you have the seal. So I'm going to put a fresh seal on top of that. You can reuse your old one, but if you have a new one, that's actually better. Obviously very cheap. I'm going to put a new seal on there. Have that handy, because what you want to do, as soon as you pop that out, you're going to want to put this in place as quickly as possible. And this is where this job can get a little bit messy. Okay. Okay, so I got the plug in place. It'll take either a wrench socket or a screwdriver to tighten it. In this case, I'll just use my screwdriver. I didn't lose much oil out of there, so worked out pretty well. Obviously, you want to tighten it all the way up. Again, don't forget to have that seal in place. That's very important. Okay, we're all set. And so this is why you want to have gloves for this operation. That part can be a little bit on the messy side. The last thing we're going to want to do, besides clean up the engine a little bit, is I'm going to raise the engine back up and we'll put the prop back on. But before we put it back on, we want to actually grease that prop shaft. Okay, so the final step is to put your prop back on. And so this is a great time to grease your prop shaft and your splines. And the reason for that is because if you don't do that, your thrust washer and your prop could seize on your prop shaft, making it really difficult to take off. And so you can, for Mercury, you can use a 2,4-C grease, or what they call extreme grease is another product that they use. And just put a liberal amount all along your prop shaft and the splines. Work it in. Again, this is why, again, gloves come in very handy. Just work it all in there really well. And that should do it. Okay. And then next you want to just put your prop back on. And again, the sequence matters. So I'll just kind of clean up my thrust washer a little bit before I put it back on. It's got a lot of the older grease on it from before. And when you put the thrust washer back on, as I mentioned earlier, you put the thicker side on first, the wider side. Okay, so again, it's like that. This wider side goes in first, like so. Okay, and then once you got that, you can put your prop back on. Now, good idea too to take a look inside your prop, inspect your hub if you've got one, make sure that's all in good shape. Mine looks pretty good. So you just slide that back on, got to line up with the splines. There we go. I'll move this around a little bit. Because then what we want to do is we want to put this tab back on. And it should be so that you can see the part that's kind of bowed out. So that comes to the outside. You put that over first. And then there's these little ears or openings. That should fit around. And again, you could do it right there. You might be able to see that. There's these little tabs in there. And so those little ears should go right over that. That's to keep, this is what's called a the thrust nut retainer. And then put the nut on top. Now, normally I would just tighten this down pretty good and snug with a prop wrench, but the Mercury owner's manual says it should be at 55.3 pounds of thrust. So thanks to my neighbor Mark who loaned me this torque wrench, we're going to put it at 55 pounds of thrust. And so obviously you'll want to use your block of wood again, just to kind of help wedge the propeller in place as you go to tighten it. And again, I don't think it's imperative that you get it at 55 pounds. I just normally, again, just get it really good and snug. And we're good. Now, the last thing you're supposed to do is bend up the tabs. So you got ones that are, you know, kind of holding the nut in place. So there's kind of straddling that little tab. The other ones that aren't straddling anything, you bend those upwards. So I'll just do that really quickly. And they're already kind of bent, so they're pretty good shape. Okay, and so that's all there is to it. It's a fairly simple process. It'll take you about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, it can be a little bit messy, but it's pretty easy. Most anyone can do it. Most manufacturers recommend you should change your gear lube at least once a season or every 100 hours, whichever comes first. But as I stated at the beginning, it's a good idea to do it at the end of the season so that you don't have any residual water in your gear case that could freeze and crack. Well, if you found this video helpful, do me a big favor, click on that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel to get my weekly tips and insights to help you purchase, equip, and maintain your boat. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the water.